Hello all, Project Wargaming, back with an update on some sci-fi stuff that I've been working on. So I am currently just waiting on some prints to get done so I can continue working on the Battle for Berlin board. And in the meantime, I'm just kind of doing some little side projects. So I always kind of like sci-fi, 6mm stuff, kind of the epic stuff, but don't really play epic, the Warhammer thing. So anyways, one of the things that I've done in the past, and I've built these before, is some irrigated fields, sci-fi fields. So now that I got the 3D printer, I've kind of gone in and reworked it and structured it slightly different, and gone from there. So this is the end product, but the beginning product is very, very simple. So I think everybody probably, hopefully, can recognize what this is. It is a old CD. So I bet you got lots of these laying around that you might not really be using anymore. And so what I found is they are kind of perfect for irrigated fields. And so what I do is I take a sandpaper or a sanding machine and I rough up the whole thing first. And so that's what I've done with this. You can kind of see slight texture underneath the paint. And then after I've gotten that all roughed up, I come in with some Krylon dark brown camo spray paint and just spray that down. So that gives me the base to work off of. Then what I do is I come in with kind of a mud mixture that I made using different paints, and then also some Mod Podge, and then mix in paint with it. And if you want to add a little bit of texture, you can. You don't have to. But I find that that works really well. And then all you do is you just take just your big brush and kind of brush that lightly, almost a dry brush, around here, and then you dip that into your flock. And your flock then adheres to the base. I am not so concerned with it getting exactly circular fields. Like, it doesn't really concern me that much. Someone might want to, and you could do that with just, regular old glue bottle and just sit there and work your circles. This is another one. I kind of put them so that they're just starting to grow. That's kind of what I like to look at, because most of the mats that I'm putting down on are green already. And so this brown kind of gives you a different overall feel to it. So obviously after you have the flocking on, then what I've done is I've come in and I have cast up these little modular pieces. So just put them in Tinkercad and made them up. And then all you do is you put it over top of the circle. And then I have, again, cast up these little end points here. And you can see kind of the details on them. They have a couple wheels at the bottom, and then, a hole in the center. And it's just to kind of give it the sci-fi look. This is obviously kind of what it looks like when you're done. The other thing that obviously gets added in is the wire piece here. That is kind of the swing arm, I guess, that goes around and actually does the irrigation. So in the past, all I've done is just put a piece of wire on that, ran it over, and then was done. But I thought that it might look interesting if I went in and put some wire on top of this to make it look like there's actually, the irrigation hose running down. I don't know, just something that makes it look a little bit different. And of course I had some brass wire, so the brass looks nice against the gray and kind of makes it pop a little bit more. So anyways, that's kind of how I do the overall project. Now, how did I get the texture on there? So what I've done is kind of made a jig that allows me to do that. So see if I can grab one of these. So all I do is put it down on this piece of foam core. And then on this, I just went in with a nipper and just kind of nipped the edge here just to give me a pattern that I can use. And then what I've done is took the mud, slathered it on there pretty well, took this, placed it in there, and then I actually just kind of ran that around to give me the edge. And then you can kind of apply pressure to the outside a little bit more than the inside, and you can already see that it scuffs up. And so it just gives you a nice circular pattern to it. So I've tried that a little bit with when I applied the glue or the texture for putting the flock on, but you know, it just covers too much and it doesn't really work. Another way to do it, if you don't want to nip it up that way, is just get an old crappy comb, and you can do the same thing. I just piece of plastic card or whatever tubing, glued it with super glue, and then same thing, put it there, and then you just run that around, and that gives you your texture. So that's the jig I use to get the overall texture for the fields. I'm pretty happy with the results. You get about 20 of them out on a table, and it really does kind of start to look like a field. This is scale-wise, that's a GHQ 6mm figs. This is I think it's a brigade model, and this is one of the brigade model Walker guys. So yeah, that's what I've done. That's kind of just a little side project that I've been doing, and I am sure that I will put them out on the table to play with pretty soon. So that is it. We'll talk to you later.